Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is, fix my hat. What's going on here? There we go. Today is September the 5th, 2025. There are 3 games in the W for today. We'll jump into them, go through them, break them down, see how we can get paid if there's anything strong enough, and do a quick recap of yesterday as well. So as always, hit the like button. Got a jam-packed video for you guys. Let's jump into it. Yesterday, didn't make any plays yesterday. The ideas that I had on the show would have went, I think, 2 and 3. Now, of course, I wouldn't have bet Dallas team total under 74.5. That was actually the strongest look, with knowing that the players that were on the injury list were going to come back. Misha Hans-Allen was listed as questionable. Of course, she ends up playing. And then Haley Jones, who ended up with 18 points last night, was the second leading scorer, was listed as out for the game and got upgraded to questionable. And then of course, to probable. So she ended up playing last night, had a big game. I wouldn't have bet their team total under without those 2 players. So you can take that one off the list. Let's jump into it for today, man. So first up, we'll start with Jackson. Jackson had a 1-1 split yesterday. Asia Wilson over 25.5 points and assists was easy. She finished with 31 points alone. And then Veronica Burton over her 4.5 rebounds was a loser. She finished with 3 rebounds yesterday. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday. As always, the link is in the description if you guys want to check out, any kind of AI sports betting tool. Jackson is the one that you guys definitely want to check out. So for today's games, Jackson likes Dearica Hamby over her 24.5 points plus rebounds. The analysis says that she's been on an absolute tear, consistently exceeding her combined points plus rebounds line. She's facing the Atlanta Dream. And while the Dream's defense against her position ranks 3rd, Hamby has shown she can dominate this matchup. So recent performance, she's hit the over in an impressive 80% of her last 5 games, averaging 30.2 combined points plus rebounds. This trend extends to her last 10 games, where she's also hit over 80% over that time frame, averaging 28.8 points plus rebounds. Her season-long consistency, she's over 52.5% of the games with a season average of 26, which is above the line that's set at 24.5 for today's game. And when facing the Atlanta Dream, she's been exceptional, hitting the line 100% of her games so far, her 2 games so far, averaging 32 combined points plus rebounds. This indicates her ability to be able to perform even against a strong defensive unit. So take Dearica Hamby over her 24.5 points plus rebounds. The next look is on Ariel Atkins over her 3.5 boards. It says that Ariel Atkins has been a consistent force on the boards for Chicago, and her recent form suggests she's poised to continue this trend. So she's been a rebounding machine, Jackson says, hitting the over 3.5 boards in 80% of her last 5 games, averaging 4.4. She's maintained this strong performance over her last 10 games, also hitting the over 80% of the games, averaging 4.3. Her season-long consistency hit rate averages 3.42, just under the line, but her recent surge in performance is a key indicator. She's also hit the over 57.58% of her games this season. And then you have the matchup analysis. The Indiana Fever defense against rebounds ranked 6th in the league, which is above average. However, Atkins has shown she can still be effective against them, hitting the over at 66.6% of her matchups this season, averaging 3.67. Her consistent effort on the glass makes it a favorable player prop for today. So those are the 2 looks for Jackson. As always, like I said, man, check the link out in the description. There is still a 50% promo on whatever tier you end up signing up for first. So let's jump into the 3 matchups for today. First up, we got the Sparks and the Dream again. This line has come down. You can see here that it did yesterday when I was putting these graphics in. It did come down to 6.5 now. So a little bit of money come in on the Sparks to keep this one close. The total has gone up 169.5 now. It looks like is the total. So this is higher than the previous game total. And if we jump into the matchup, I mean, the way I thought about the last game was, and I said this, the Sparks really need to win. I talked about their, playoff positioning in the last game. And they pretty much, if they lose this game, they're eliminated. The Golden State Valkyries clinched last night. So Sparks could still, they own the tiebreaker, I think, over the Seattle Storm and over the Indiana Fever. The Fever will probably beat the Chicago Sky tonight. And then Seattle is going to be we'll talk about them. They're going to be in a battle against the New York Liberty tonight as well. So the Sparks, they don't control their own destiny. They kind of need the Fever to lose. They kind of need the Seattle Storm. They need one of the teams to lose because there's only a couple games left. And I thought the Sparks would come out and play with a lot more energy and effort in the last game, and we didn't see that. They shot 40% from the field. They shot 24% from the three-point line. They were out-rebounded, which is something I thought that they could potentially do a better job at. The Sparks are a terrible defensive team, but they do rebound the ball well. They were out-rebounded a -3 on the offensive glass, a -8 overall in the game, and they ended up losing that game by 11 points last game. After the first quarter, they started on a 10-0 run, I think, and after the first quarter, I mean, they pretty much got smoked. They lost the second quarter by 10. They won the third quarter by 1, and then was just kind of even throughout the fourth quarter. So they also gave up 17 points off turnovers, and that's something that, they can struggle with at times. The Dream, the other way of looking at it is the Dream still fighting as well, right? The Dream currently are tied with the Aces. They're tied with the Phoenix Mercury. They really want the second seed. And Carl Kolesko is, really talking about it as well. So he's kind of vocal that they want that second seed. So they'll need the Aces to lose, and they'll need to win. They need the Dream to – I don't think it really matters what Phoenix does, but they'll need the Aces to win. If not, if they finish in a tie, if both teams went out, then the Dream will finish in third, I think, ahead of the Mercury. But regardless of all that, the Sparks are not a team that I really want to trust. Alicia Gray did miss the last game. She's going to miss this game as well. I think she's the only person on the injury report. I forgot to mention that. But the Sparks, when they play against good defensive teams, they really, really struggle to score the basketball. I don't think that they're going to go out without a fight, but my gut kind of tells me that Atlanta could win and cover this game as well. I mean, they have no answer for Ryan Howard or Jordan Canada. Naz Hillman played really well. Tahina Powell played well. Nia Caldwell came off the bench. She played well as well. Maya Caldwell. And Bree Jones was an absolute beast. She had a double-double. I think she finished with like 14 points and 10 boards in the last game as well. The Sparks just don't want to stop anybody, man. They still end up giving up 86 points. That game did go under the total. And if the Dream continue to dictate pace, I think this one will go under as well. They are the second slowest paced team and the second best defensive team, as you guys can see. And this is not just the full season. These are the last 5 games as well. I think they've won 3 in a row. They've won 12 of their last 15 as well. They're 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. And the Sparks, 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've alternated wins and losses, I think, in 12 straight. So I guess, maybe they keep it close. I don't think so, though. I think the Dream can win this game, even without Alicia Gray, the same way that they did in the last one. But wouldn't surprise me if the Sparks were able to get a cover. As far as player props go, I do want to take you guys over real quick. There's one thing that I think that happened last game that will probably happen again. And this is Outlier. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. This is Jordan Canada. You can see here, she had 10 assists in the last game. Her assist prop is sitting at 6.5. She played for the Sparks team, of course, 2 years ago before she joined the Atlanta Dream last year and then got hurt and really play any at all. But yeah, you can see, she's played really well. So outside of just having 10 assists in this game here, the first time they played, she had 6 assists. And this was, of course, with Alicia Gray in the game. So yeah, it's not a large sample size without Alicia Gray, but if we know anything about the Los Angeles Sparks is, they don't play any defense. This is the second worst defensive team in WNBA. You can see here where I highlighted that they give up the second most assists overall as well. Do think Jordan Canada over 6.5 assists is a pretty good look, but also I'm just giving you guys some ideas. Ryan Howard over her assist prop. We talked about this a couple games ago, and she cashed it. I think this was against Dallas, right? The Dallas game right here. Her assist prop was sitting at 3.5, and she got the 5 in this game. Or it might have been 4.5. I think it was 4.5. She got the 5. You can see here she also got the 5 as well. Without Alicia Gray there, somebody's going to have to pick up the point guard duties. And Ryan Howard's running a lot of pick and roll, high pick and roll with Brittany Griner and with even Naz Hillman, who stretches the floor, with Bree Jones as well. And she's dominant. So she could absolutely go off offensively, but I think she could potentially go up and over her points prop, her assist prop as well. So something to kind of keep in mind. The 3.5 is juice, but I think that's something to take into consideration for this game as well. Let's see. And those are my thoughts on this game. The Derek Hamby look, I think, makes a lot of sense as well, but I don't really want to play on the Sparks. So that's my thought process. Next game up, Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. I think this line has come down a little bit. Yeah, it's down to 12 now. The Fever are laying 12 points at home. Total is actually gone up. So open 159.5. It went down to 158.5, and now it's up to 161. It looks like it's consensus, at least at the time of this recording. So the Chicago Sky will be without Haley Van Lith, and Angel Reese picked up her 8th technical foul. She is suspended for this game. So Chicago Sky, in my opinion, probably go back to the Chicago Sky that we've seen without Angel Reese before. And that's a pretty terrible team. They have not done well against this Indiana Fever team in general. I think they've lost by average of 25 points per game. Now, of course, the Fever were a lot more healthy in those games. The Fever are kind of, dragging their feet into the playoffs. They do, again, have a 1.5 game, I think, lead over the Los Angeles Sparks for the final playoff spot right now. And then the Seattle Storm sit, I think, a half a game above them as well. Either way, neither one of those teams coming out of the, if they make the playoffs, neither one of those teams are beating the Aces or, beating the Minnesota Lynx. I don't really know what spot they want to finish in, honestly. But I do think that they'll win this game. I cannot lay this many points with them. Absolutely not. The Fever, when I was looking at it last night, I know that they've owned this Chicago team. Chicago is probably going to regress, especially after coming off a win in their last game as well. They're probably going to regress a little bit. But the Indiana Fever, last 5 games, well, let's talk about the full season. They are plus 2.9 in net rating. In the last 5 games, they're minus 1.8. So how can I lay 2 touchdowns with you almost when you are minus 1.8 in net rating? Chicago is bad, but they're not that bad. Chicago last 5 games, they're actually a minus 0.5 point. So their offensive rating and defensive rating is about a 0.5 point differential. I can't get there. It'd be Chicago plus the points. They still got some capable scorers. I don't trust the Fever offense or defense enough to be able to lay this many points. So it'd be Chicago plus the points. I do agree with the number coming down. From a player prop perspective, I looked at Camila Cardoso. Her points prop was at 14.5. I think without injuries there, she could potentially pick up the slack. Scoring the basketball, she's gone over her points prop. I think it was like 4 of her last 6 games. So Cardoso's in pretty good form. The thing that you worry about is her head-to-head matchup. She has struggled in the head-to-head matchup against the Chicago Sky. Against the Indiana Fever this season. So yeah, she's gone over in 5 of her last 6 games. I said 4-6. 5 of her last 6 games, she's gotten to at least 15 points or more. And I would think that the offense will kind of run through her today. Aaliyah Boston's not the greatest interior defender, in my opinion. So I think Cardoso should be able to get busy. You need Ariel Atkins and Rachel Banham and Michelle Onyenwere to play well to be able to keep this within the number. I think the Fever just not 12 points better than anybody right now. Not as currently constructed. I know that they have a little bit of a rest advantage. I think it's a 1-day rest advantage. But yeah, I can't lay that many points. The other thing I thought about was the under. So I know that the Fever's offense has been kind of clicking, especially when they've been playing against poor defenses. But the Sky's offense is terrible without Angel Reese in the game. It's 6-2-1 as to the under as a double-digit road dog this season. Those games have averaged right at 160 points, and this total is now above 160. So I was thinking under yesterday. I kind of disagree with the total. I think it's a little bit more of an under game. Chicago, I think, is still going to struggle to score the basketball. And I wouldn't just say that the Indiana Fever are just going to walk in here. I know that they're at home, but I wouldn't say the Indiana Fever are just going to come out and score. Let's see what their team total is. Yeah, I don't think Chicago is just – I don't think it's going to be easy for the Fever to get to 87. That's a lot of points too. So I still would lean under. I think under is probably the best play on the board here in this game, especially now that the total's going up. I disagree with the total going up. And I'm only taking the points for Chicago here, even though they've been smoked by the Fever full season. All right, last game on the board, the Storm and the Liberty. So Storm laying 2 points at the crib. This line is coming down to 1 now. And I kind of agree with it. Total is moving up. Open 160.5. It's up to 162.5. It looks like it's consensus. So these numbers are not correct. These are numbers that I put in from yesterday when they first opened. So 162.5. The other numbers are correct though. So on the New York Liberty side of things, the important thing to mention here is Sabrina Ionescu is upgraded. Well, I wouldn't say upgraded. She's listed as questionable. She missed that last game against the Valkyries. And Nair Sabli is also listed as game time decision. We'll see if they actually play. If they play, I think that the Liberty win this game. The Liberty have been free falling, and the Storm are not a team that I trust, specifically when they're at home. I definitely don't trust them at home. So if we look at the standings right now, not that Seattle doesn't need to win this game, because they absolutely do. They don't want to find themselves in a position where somehow the Sparks win and they lose, and then that last game means everything, because the Sparks actually got a few more games left than uh, than the Seattle Storm do. So as currently constructed, the New York Liberty are in fifth. They're not going to catch the Mercury, the Dream, or the Aces. So they probably going to finish in fifth, but they could potentially finish in sixth. And you probably don't want to play the Dream in the first round either. I don't know who they actually want to play. Like the Liberty are in a really tough spot. I think more so than anything, they probably just want to go into the playoffs with a good taste in their mouth. And they have not been good recently. The New York Liberty this will be their third straight home game. They're coming off back-to-back losses. They lost to Golden State. Before that, they lost to Phoenix as well. And they're limping into the playoffs. Just 3-16-1 against the spread on the road, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Seattle does have a one-day rest advantage in this spot, and it's their third straight home game. But the Seattle Storm are 5-15 against the spread at home, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games as well. And they've only covered one of their last 5 games. They were in a spot where the Sparks were playing second leg of a back-to-back, and they just kind of cratered in the fourth quarter. I think they scored like 10 or 11 points. I think the Liberty are better than the Storm. I know that the Liberty have been trash. Their offense has failed them. Over the last 5 games, they're averaging the fewest points in the league, which is crazy. 70 points per game is what they're averaging. They're 11th in offensive rating, playing at the slowest pace, which is crazy because the Liberty are the fastest-paced team in the WNBA for a majority of the season until recently. And I think Sabrina being back, which I think she plays, we'll see if she plays, trying to integrate Stewie back, having Emma Miesemann, and then all the rotational players being in and out, Natasha Cloud playing with the mask on her face for her first game back, even though it was a good game against the Golden State Valkyries in the last game. It's just a lot going on with the Liberty right now. I do think the Liberty are still a really, really good team. They haven't had time to put it all together, and I think that's probably going to be why they don't win a championship. I was high on the Liberty, getting Emma Miesemann and thinking that they would win, but I mean, the injuries just keep stacking up. So even if they do get everybody back in, I don't think they've had one game this season where they've had a full healthy rotation with the addition of Miesemann on the team. So I know the Storm, are really Jekyll and Hyde, specifically at home. Like I said, 5-15 against the spread. I just can't lay it. I think the Liberty being a dog in this game is the side that I want to be on. It's actually probably my favorite look of the day so far. I haven't bet it because I do want Sabrina in too. I think Sabrina means a lot. She definitely means a lot. So that's the way I'm thinking about this game. As far as the total goes, the Liberty, like I said, their offense has kind of failed them. Getting Sabrina back, I think it's going to help a lot. They are 7-2-1 to the under in their last 10 games. They placed 5 straight unders. All of them have actually stayed under 160 as well. So this total is only going up. The Storm are a team that play fast. Their defense is very inconsistent. They can play a really good defensive game. They can play a really poor defensive game. One of the things I think that helps the Liberty in this spot as well, I forgot to mention this, is that from a rebounding perspective, Seattle is 7th in offensive rating, but they're playing very fast. I think I mentioned it already. 2nd in pace. They've been a terrible rebounding team, Seattle has. New York is also a really bad rebounding team, and I think that gives New York an advantage in this game because they're not playing against a great rebounding team. And they have pretty good rebounders. You got Jacquel Jones. You got Breanna Stewart. Even Natasha Cloud can go down there and grab some boys. Sabrina, if she plays, is a really good rebounder. Phoebus can be a really good rebounder, but they have not been able to put it together on the glass. And it's crazy because Seattle got NECA and Ezzie Magmabor, and Gabby Williams is a hell of an athlete, and Brittany Sykes is a hell of an athlete, and Skylar Diggins can crash the boards. And man, you just got so much, but they still can't get the job done as far as rebounding. So I think New York is the right side in this game. All things considered, I looked at this game for a while. I think New York can win this game. I think having the rest off, potentially getting Stewie back, potentially getting Sabrina back. If she plays, I'll probably take the Liberty on the money line as soon as the line starts, as soon as she's rolled in, because I think she's at least worth them being a favorite in this game. So if I can get them as a dog, that's what I'll do. All right, I said a lie, whole lie. This is what I'm betting if I'm betting. Atlanta -6, Cardoso over 14.5 points. I didn't put up Jordan Canada over 6.5 assists or Ryan Howard over 3.5, but I think those are really good looks as well. And New York +2. That line is gone now. It's +1, but I would just take them +1, 1.5 if you could get it as well. Link in the description as always for the looks, for the resources. Check them out. Jackson, Outlier, Moneyballer, Odds Jam. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn the notification bell on so you know when these videos drop. Potentially may go live this weekend. Talk some NFL. And we got 2 games in the W for tomorrow as well. So enjoy the Friday, man. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.